it should be right about now, I think. Yeah, that's looking correct. Just have to make sure that the YouTube half of this has also started, because for whatever reason it didn't the other day. Yeah, okay, did update the name, that's progress. And there we go, I've got the bits sorted so that YouTube should be chill as well. And now I'm just going to get a little tweet ready saying that we are live. And we're probably good to go. Not a tweeter. Social post on... I need to get the word tweet out of my vernacular. I need to have it not be my go-to. How is everyone doing today? But I'm back to playing Veilguard, even if it's not the playthrough that I'm in the weeds, I'm digging to see what happens next. I'm playing Veilguard though, so it's all good. Hey Tara, first of all I want to say congratulations on being one of the greatest comedy episodes of Dice Funk, and you deserve a medal for not making a snide comment to Quinn about how you did this idea 6 seasons ago. Sometimes you gotta let someone have the win and not rain on anyone's parade unnecessarily. Well done for your very smart original idea. Look, every idea that someone on Dice Funk has inevitably gets stolen. It's rare that it's someone else in Dice Funk that steals it, but you just got to accept Dice Funk ideas get eaten up. Hey, Talus Langkill. Dominion Simulacrum. That is a heck of a name. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Hi, how are you doing? Lovely to have you here. Hey, Thimba. I'm giving it a minute for people to start arriving. I don't think we're going to hit anything too urgently plot-related by starting too quick, but, you know, we'll give it a minute to chat. Iconic that you're streaming this. Yeah, it's so... But playing it and streaming it have both been so weird, because, like, as I've said, it was about 4 years ago I worked on this, and to suddenly have it be, like, a real video game, and not just an abstract thing that I know information about, but it's like an actual real video game. That's real weird. And it's real funky. It's so surreal getting to play it in front of people and go like, oh shit, it's that thing that I helped a little bit. There's a lot of people in those credits, many hundreds of people in those credits, but one of them's me. I helped. Dominion says, I played all weekend. The only reason I didn't play more of it, the only reason I'm not more than 32 hours in, is I'm having to play something else for work, on a deadline that I was meant to be working on it before Dragon Age came out, and then it got delayed. And it was like, hey, do you mind starting this work project on Dragon Age Day instead? I was like, okay. So I've played 13 hours of a thing that isn't Dragon Age, but the whole time being like, Yeah, but the faster I play through it, the faster I can get back to Dragon Age, so... Talasalenko says, I just saw Steph's video about this, it was hilarious. Steph sent me the video yesterday to be like, hey, are you okay with me poking the hornet's nest a bit in a video? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. But I did very much appreciate that nice little bit about me at the end, it was very sweet. Shame on you as a consultant letting them put not only cis people in this game, but straight married people, so unrealistic. Look, I tried to tell them, you gotta make everyone trans, or you know you're just gonna embolden the cis people. But would they listen? You know, sometimes that's how it goes. How many woke hours you got so far from playing this game? I played I think 32, 33 hours of it so far. I've been sending my mum videos of it the whole time I've been playing. She's been asking so many questions. It's been very sweet. Haters gonna hate. Exactly. Haters gonna hate. I'm not gonna let them stop me. Hey, here's a secret, internet. Life is Strange Double Exposure and Dragon Age the Veilguard are not the only two games I've worked on. There's probably video games you're excited about coming out in the future that I worked on. I've been ruining your video games the whole time. You're probably excited for video games you don't even know I've ruined yet. Tee-hee. Liking your mum so woke. Right, let's jump in. So I think what had happened last time, we tried to stop Solas's ritual. 2 evil elven gods got let out of the Fade, but Solas did get trapped in the Fade. We have Nev, who is a cool, like, journalist type person with a cobra-shaped prosthetic leg. We met Bellara, who can jump through sort of magic portals, and that's pretty cool. Harding, the dwarf, now has stone magic, which is pretty rad. We gotta go talk to Varric. There's your update. There's how we're doing. Also, I have the best of the casual wear outfits because I've got the slutty one. Thimba says, luckily the whole Dragon Age the Veilguard outrage seems to have died down a bit. I saw a person mention the game and there was only one kind of anti-woke comment. I tested the waters today. I reinstalled Twitter after uninstalling it for like 4 or 5 days. And I posted a thing explaining what accessibility was and that, like, hey, just because I worked on accessibility for Life is Strange doesn't mean I'm responsible for Max and Chloe breaking up. Like, those aren't the same thing. And none of the shitty people were in my comments. So, like, I've done a tweet, and it didn't instantly bring them swarming back, which to me says that I think they've calmed down, which is good. Which means I can start, like, I can relax a little bit now. I'd have to be quite so on edge that they're gonna swarm. It was totally accessible for Max and Chloe to break up, I'm sure. I mean, them breaking up didn't create an accessibility issue, I can tell you that. Right, Varric. Okay. Look, no.
So Solas
I have
told
thoughts.
the truth about the gods.
I'll say nothing for the second.
You heard? It's bad, Varric. If you'd seen Demetis crossing...
The team needs to act fast. And it can't do that with me leading
Oh, that was the
from
place
a bed.
covered in blight.
You've got to take point on this.
Or the black evil gunk. I can't replace you.
I can't do what you do. I've barely been holding it together in the short time you've been out.
You don't need to do what I do. You just need to get it done. Rook, when I put this team together, what did I look for? A detective to find the Dreadwolf, and a scout to get us the lay of the land. Exactly the people he'd expect me to recruit. Disciplined, predictable. And then there's you.
Backhanded compliment,
Remember
Varric.
when we first met, kid? I watched you pick apart an entire Antam patrol in Treviso. They outnumbered you 20-1.
They were overconfident. I took advantage.
Which no one else did. Crows didn't appreciate the heat it brought down, but you've got a knack, kid.
For what?
Finding a way through the wildest shit I've ever seen. With a plan that no one expects. On the best day of his life, Solas wouldn't see you coming, Rook. And don't worry. I'll still be here to talk if you need me.
What was I gonna say? Thimber, yeah, level 40 before Act 2 is impressive. I was doing, like, basically as many of the side quests as I could. There were a couple that involved fighting things that I was clearly underleveled for that I was like, I'll come back to you later. But I've been doing, like, basically every side quest possible before progressing the story. And I'm only now hitting level 40, like, into what I think is Act 3? So I'm impressed if you're level 40 in Act 1. Alright, what we got here?
There is something. Demeta's crossing was awful. While we were there, we found one survivor, the mayor.
Oh,
You
yeah,
took him
him.
back to the Veil Jumpers.
Not everyone was happy about my decision. We're just starting out and I'm already losing their trust.
The key to earning the team's trust isn't to only make decisions everyone agrees with. It's showing the team that they can tell you whatever's on their mind, even if they think you're full of crap. And know you'll listen.
Did Nev tell you about me talking to Solas in the Fade?
I had some good arguments with Chuckles back in the day. I can't imagine being stuck with him in my head. But how are you feeling about it?
He's an asshole.
Your old friend is kind of an asshole, Varric.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall while the two of you get into it. Solas fought a rebellion against Elgar'nan and Gillenane. He didn't want to be a god. But he's also a lot older and more powerful than any of us. He looks at us like we're toddlers.
So how do I deal with
Which
him?
does make romancing him in
Act like you're as
Inquisition a
smart
bit
as he
weird.
is, and he'll be insufferable. Show him you respect his age and experience, and he'll remind you he's just a man. Honestly, pick whichever of those pisses you off less.
He also asked me to tell you that he regrets what happened. Hurting you, I mean.
Chuckles is sentimental. He could burn the world down, and the thing that would make him cry is a single flower with blackened petals.
Oh, there's Ubisoft news? What's the Ubisoft news? Let me know.
When I took over at the ritual site, I had to make a call on who came with me to knock over that statue. It was the first decision I made leading this team, and Harding got hurt because of it.
You made a decision with the best information you had. Sometimes you do that, and people end up hurt. Or worse.
What would you have done?
What would I have done? Probably gotten myself killed and failed to stop the ritual if you hadn't stepped in. A good leader isn't someone who never makes mistakes. It's someone who admits when they make one. That's how you earn their trust.
Ubisoft just called to co-work with them again. I'm assuming it's this. I think I saw something about this. Michel Ancel, yes. And Michel Ancel to come work back with them again, yes, on that Rayman reboot, I think. Which really does make it seem like we were correct that, like, the only reason he left was to avoid getting investigated, and now the investigation's over, he'll come back. That feels like the vibe. Yeah, it's ridiculous that anyone... Like, it's ridiculous that anyone would complain about Dragon Age being too woke. Every entry they have done in the Dragon Age series has been, like... has been progressive for its time. Like, I'm not going to say that they've all been flawless or that there haven't been things to critique, but I think that it's a series that has consistently gone, let's do one or two things that no one else is doing yet and push that bar forward. Like, I couldn't name a mainstream, like, big-budget video game with a trans man character in it prior to Dragon Age Inquisition, that was like a character that was, like, actually around for a long time. You know, I have problems with, like, you know, Krem being voiced by a cis woman, for example, and stuff like that, but, like, this is the series that, like, put Krem in when no games were thinking about trans people yet, like, you know.
I'll let you get some rest.
You're gonna be fine, Rook. Hey, one last thing before you go. I've been racking my brain thinking of contacts who might help us with these
More
gods.
companion characters.
You got any ideas?
Who you got?
Nothing. But being a leader isn't about having all the answers yourself. It's about knowing who does. Nev has connections to a whole world that Harding and I
Women should have
barely
been able to
know.
romance Cassandra, you're
Might
correct.
be worth talking to her.
Will do. Thanks, Varric.
Anytime.
Oh, I must say, I so love the system of just having floating, glowing lights outside of people's rooms to be like, who has things to say to me? I can see at a glance. Nev has something to say. Bellara does not. Harding does. Harding and Nev, they're my people I gotta go chat to. I very much appreciate this system. It is wonderful. Such a good convenience.
Toldar is a tunnel. Veilguard, Velos Atreidim.
I warn you in advance. From the start, I'm going to be flirting with absolutely
Velos
everyone every
Atreidim
chance I get for a while.
Nothing like Isatunal.
Isatunal. I remember. After you touched the dagger. The prayer, the proclamation. Isatunal. What exactly are you proclaiming?
They don't remember. No one remembers. We don't even know what we lost.
You're not hearing a word I'm saying, are you?
Uh-huh.
You know you're adorable, right?
Sure, whatever you think is best.
Yes, I want to talk about the marker
What?
system, the waypoint system
What's
in this in
happened?
a minute.
I said you're adorable.
You're poking fun at me.
Never.
I would never poke fun. I respect you too much.
Is that so?
100%. So what's Isatunal?
Isatunal is an affirmation, a statement of existence, of being. It means I am here. But no, not I. I is singular, but it isn't. We either. We is multiple, but also separate.
What?
Isatunal is the eternal hymn that encompasses all time, all spaces. I am, we are, this and that, here, there, now, and forever.
What's important is that you're happy.
I have no
Happy?
idea what you're on
Happy's
about,
not
but thumbs up.
Oh. Right, maybe. I'm certain Isatunal describes how we, the dwarves, once were.
all connected,
None
all
of the
of
books
something.
say anything about it. None of the histories are right. If we forgot something so important,
I have
What
stone
else did
magic,
we
and now I
forget?
know that history books are
I
wrong. Oh no.
Don't know.
I'm sorry.
You've become a history skeptic.
I don't expect you to have an answer. Thanks for letting me babble, by the way.
Anytime. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, let's talk about this waypoint system, because it's not just that there's waypoint markers that show you where your objective is, because those are nice. Like, knowing as the crow flies which direction I gotta go to find the thing I'm looking for is great. But I really like waypoint systems like this, where it takes you to multiple points along the route to show you your route to the exit point. So yeah, so it's go to the door, okay, now we follow it to the end of this bridge, and then it'll ping to over there. Like, it's incremental waypoints so that you actually get the route rather than just find your way to that. Also, yeah, it does seem like Harding is getting rock magic whispers in her brain a little bit. It's probably fine. Which period is the Dragon Age world set in? It's like the old times or current times compared to the real world. Largely, I would say it's comparable to, like, a medieval fantasy setting in that you don't have, like, phones or, like, cars or anything like that, but you do have some places where magic sort of bridges the gap to do things that are the equivalent to what technology would do, but generally it's You're certainly not running around with modern technology, for the most part.
Hey, Nev. Hi, Wisps.
Yeah, they're still here. But you're here for leads. You want allies to go after the gods? I've got places to look, if we can get anywhere but Arlathan.
Bellara's working on it. What have you got?
Let's start with the angles we know. The gods are corrupt magic personified. Who do we hire to fight that? First, the Antivan crows. We've got you. But if one assassin's good,
Why not
Oh,
two?
we're gonna go get
You have someone in mind?
Lucanis.
your most feared mage killer, the demon of Virantium.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Dragon Age as a series has always been, like... To call it medieval fantasy is to overlook the fact that, like, my character's running around in, like, a cool leather jacket that's, like, very modern in aesthetic. It's always been a series that has been, like... Don't treat it as a hard and fast rule that it is based on a medieval whatever time period. It's like, no, it's... The setting is what it is, and it has its technology level, but it's always been full of people who speak like people today would speak, and, like, that's just how it is.
The demon's a legend. I've always wanted to meet him.
Happy to help. The demon got his nickname taking out blood mages and Venatori.
Well, hey,
There's
Zarya,
been
one
fewer
moment.
stories in recent years, but your bosses would know.
The Talons? They're going to give me an earful.
If you want to look elsewhere.
I'll set up a meeting. What else?
Okay, so we're in the same
trip home.
faction as this character we're about
Actum
to
and
meet.
Rathus.
Capital city and heart of Tevinter. An empire of mages that knows a thing or two about corrupt magic.
Tevinter Authority.
Won't help and can't be trusted, which is why we talk to the Shadow Dragons. They're a resistance group that fights slavers, blood magic, and imperial corruption.
That's your group.
They've got
Nav.
eyes and ears everywhere, including mine. If the gods enter the empire, we might get something. Besides, I owe them an update.
Zari in the YouTube chat says, I couldn't stick around for the last stream. No worries, totally understand. How are you liking Veilguard? Obviously, I am biased as someone who did a bit of work on this game, so, like, take my praise with the appropriate grain of salt. I'm loving it. I played 32 hours in about 4 days. The only reason I didn't play more is I had work obligations I had to work around. I've been staying up till about 2 a.m. every night since it came out. Like, my lovely wife Jane will go to bed and I'll be like, I'm gonna play another couple of hours, I love you, I'll see you in the morning. And she's like, yeah, totally get it. I am so engrossed in its loop, and I hate that I have other work things I have to do, because all I want to be doing is playing it all the time. I fucking love it. How it compares to older Dragon Ages, not going to be for everyone. It's definitely more action-oriented in its combat, but for me that works. Combat was never what I came to Dragon Age games for. I think this does a much better job of being, like, big plot hooks early on, and not a big, overwhelming open area with busy work too early, so that you have time to actually get invested before the big sprawling loop begins, which I think is to its favour. There's a lot of decisions in here I like. I like that the game is basically just the loyalty missions from Mass Effect 2 made into a whole game, and that works great for me. Yeah, right, what are we doing? Let's ask more questions. Shadow Dragons, are they mages?
all mages?
Tevinter might prize its mages, but the Shadows accept anyone. We've all got a stake in the cause.
Yeah, anyone who wants to help tear down slavery is welcome in the Shadow Dragons. The Shadow Dragons are fun. Shadow Dragons is the faction I've been playing in my personal playthrough. I wanted to see one of the other factions play out on stream, which is why we're playing as the Antivan Crows, but the anti-slavery Shadow Dragons were my first pick. Your friends are our friends. I trust you, Nav. You wouldn't
These
steer
people
us wrong.
sound great. I mean, if they're anything like you.
No one's as good as they seem. But they try.
So, we talked to the Crows in Antiva, and the Shadow Dragons in Minrathous.
I wouldn't mind checking in on my neighborhood either. If Bellara's ready for us.
Yeah, should check how things are going.
Oh, Nev's hair down design is wonderful, right? Cool, so Harding has nothing new to say. Let's go check in on Bellara, who is trying to fix the eluvian gate, which will be our sort of magic mirror to go do all the other quests. But yes, as someone whose favorite BioWare games, or favorite bits of BioWare games, is where you're doing like the big story-heavy quests to like really win over your party members.
No, I got it.
That's this entire game, and that's everything I want.
Mirrors are funny things, aren't they? Reflections. They distort reality, no matter what you try. And there's the trick. Control that distortion. There you have it.
So these are our fast travel mirrors that we have to actually walk through the first time we go a place, but then we can fast travel.
It's the Fade. Another part of it, I mean.
Didn't Morrigan say this eluvian could go anywhere? Didn't think that meant elsewhere in the Fade.
She called it the Veer of Us. Freedom of ways. I wonder...
If you have an idea what that place is, Bellara, share it. We don't have time to waste.
Some of the older texts talk about a place in the Fade where all the eluvians meet. A crossroads where you could travel across all of Thedas in just minutes.
Right. We saw something similar when we were chasing Solas. I wonder if it's the same.
It is alike, and it is not.
Hello. How are you?
Who are you? And how did you get here?
The wolf's fang. You carry it now. Old paths. A new journey. Through there. I will wait.
Well, can't tell if that's a trap or not.
Not at all
But we're
ominous.
short on options. One way to find out.
And it didn't feel dangerous, you know? Almost more... sad.
Just because something's sad doesn't mean it isn't dangerous.
I can think of an example or two that proves that.
And we still don't know what this eluvian's gonna do. One of us should probably stay behind in case it closes.
Good point.
Just tell us when you're ready to go, Rook, and then we can figure out what's going on.
I'm going to be honest, Nev, I don't dislike her. Like 30 plus hours in, if I was put in a situation where I had to pick one character on this squad to like die heroically and not be around anymore, I think it would be Nev. And that's not to say I don't like her. I can't place why I feel that way. And it's weird, because I've been playing as the same faction as her in my main playthrough. I've been, like, really involved in her storyline. But just... I don't know. Tazlagal, I promise that is not anything referential. That is me trying to, like, come up with the situation that best explains my feelings. Alright. What do we do? Who do we want? Then here's the thing. I say that. I think I am going to take Harding and Nev as opposed to Bellara. Like, early game, I'm probably going to be taking Nev out quite a lot. Less so once I get some of the spooky goth characters. Some of the other ones we've got coming up are going to knock Nev out of rotation. But not for now. For now, Nev has a spot. Harding's going everywhere because I love Harding. Harding's wonderful. Harding is the first character I, like, finished the companion quest for in the main game.
Hello again.
At this time, the
Who
only
are
one
you?
I've done.
A caretaker. I go where I am needed, Dweller. Now, I am here.
And where is here?
That voice sends shivers down me.
The Crossroads.
Welcome to the hub environment that you traverse in order to get to new locations the first time you go to them.
Can you help us? I get the feeling this is no place to get lost.
The Evanurus hunger for the Crossroads. Their influence is spreading. Blight, death, madness. They send their minions to claim
I'm doing this one
place.
just for streaming.
The Crossroads is in a time of need, Dweller. I cannot protect you.
You don't have to. If you're standing against the gods, then consider us reinforcements.
Yeah, I've been deliberately, like, not wanting to sprint ahead on stream so that people have a chance to get ahead of the streams so that they can actually watch and not be like, oh, I can't watch because spoilers, you're too far ahead. But B, I'm trying to speedrun my way through Veilguard to see all the stuff that I was involved in and, like, be able to go, shit, that's how that turned out. But also so that I can see the end of this game before I get spoiled, because I only saw very limited things about this game that were relevant to what I was working on. I don't know how this game ends. I don't know, like, the big dramatic plot reveals any more than anyone else does. And I really want to get through my first Veilguard playthrough, like, before I've read anyone's opinions about any of the about things, before I know what choices are coming up, or like there's like consensus on what the correct answers are, before I get spoiled on anything. It's been a while since I've had a video game where I was so excited to just like binge tens of hours in like less than a week and to really lose myself in a game. So I am doing that while also like taking it slow on stream so that people can watch along and not get outpaced. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at currently in terms of pacing myself. And I'm gonna make some of my choices. Some of my choices on stream are going to be the same as ones I made in the personal playthrough. Some will be deliberately different so I can see different content.
Winds await, Dweller.
I don't see a world in which I don't romance the same person in the stream playthrough as I did in my personal one. But we're playing as a different faction, and that's already leading me to think of at least one big choice I'm probably going to do differently.
The spirits here were driven out.
Are you trying the Orban Dagger combat? I really haven't been using it much at all in my personal playthrough, but you know what? I promise the next fight we do, I'll entirely use Orban Dagger.
Crossroads to protect them. Beware. The Guardians rebel all interlopers.
Incompetent hero, all I can say is I'm listed as cultural consultant. At some point in the future, I might be able to say more than that. You can assume what cultural consultant might or might not mean, but I can say this. There are things that I've been playing a lot of the game to see how certain things are. I couldn't just play like 20 minutes and be like, yep, I've seen everything that I want to see. Obviously, we're going to meet the British at some point. That has been the popular guess / joke. Is that I was the British consultant for how to represent British culture.
The Fade
which...
Tear. That's what they're breaking
okay,
through.
yeah, we're using the orb. Cool.
Let's cut him off! Yes, you're right. I made the section themed around "Thank goodness you're here." You got it. You guessed it. One.
I mean, look, I consulted on every bit of the game that has culture in it. If you look at a bit of the game and go, that feels cultured, it's probably me that did that. A door looks like it's some fancy Art Deco design. Well, Art Deco is a type of architecture which is culture. I probably did that. Hey, Johnny Desu. Laura made sure white English people got a good rep in this game. Yeah. And to make sure that the white British people got proper rep.
Coming at range.
Did I consult on the Pokemon representation? Yeah, you're not going to believe the Pokemon minigame when we get there. It's fucking bonkers.
Made it through that one.
There we go, I'm using the orb. Just look at me using the orb. The asses, the video game asses. No, look, I'll tell you this. I didn't consult on the butts, and you know how you know that? I'm not afraid to be critical of a company who employed me to do work. That ass slider could definitely have been larger. Max ass is not a lot of ass. And if I were brought on as ass consultant, you'd better believe that ass slider at 100% would have made more ass.
God's blight and blood magic has sealed the way. Only their champion may open it.
A champion?
It dwells on this island. Challenge the champion and claim its
Peter Boss,
essence.
open the door.
This path will open to you.
Right, let's go. I'm not going the right way, am I? Follow the dot. The dot knows. Stop trying to act like I know where I'm going. Let's follow the dot. Yeah, I don't know why. I prefer the staff. It's the damage output compared to like the speed of the attacks is just more my vibe.
The Guardians can't hold them off for long.
Okay.
Is there something inside it? That's the champion we're looking for.
No, yeah, you're not wrong. I should be using the orb and dagger. You're correct. I just like the staff. The staff is what I have muscle memory for, and I enjoy I enjoy twirling my big magic stick around. I like my big twirly magic stick. I've gone full-on lightning mage all my own playthrough. Very much just got lightning mage all the way. Look, well, I really bucketed that one up. That was not my most impressive fight, was it? Let's try that again and not suck. Yes, Tara says one thing that the waypoint finding dot has done. I can look at the game screen and not navigate when traveling places. I can look at the game screen and not navigate just by looking at the minimap. I'm seeing the environments in this game more than most RPGs of this type. Right?
The Guardians can't hold them off for
Also,
long.
I completely missed that cool chest there previously because I'm a fool. There we go. It's a good thing that I wasn't paying attention, you see. I failed to pay attention and got killed for content purposes. That's it. That's correct. Yeah, let's charge up the Triangle attack, ready, so I can take a good chunk of shield down when the fight starts.
That's the champion we're looking for. Watch yourself.
There we go. Good chunk of that shield taken during the first wave. Should be trying to get single hits in with the triangle attack until the shield is down. And then we focus on fancier stuff. Ooh. A few more seconds. Oh. Oh yeah, okay, we got through the shield wave. That's great, that's what we needed. So I'm gonna start doing my quick attacks against you, which is fine. I'm less committed. Here we go, here we go. Honestly, I forgot how squishy the mage feels comparatively at the start of the game to where I am at 30 hours in with my toolbox set up the way I want it. I need to remember that when I'm doing a combo attack, it usually locks the enemy in place and stops them doing wind-up animations, which makes it a safe time to do charge-up square attacks, which are good amounts of health damage. There we go, champion down. Sorted.
It's the essence we need. It's cold. Hope I don't have to carry it for too long.
Okay, dog statue, where are you gonna point? I probably need to come back and get this one. I don't think I dealt with this puppy statue previously. Are we pointing this way? Ah! I need to come back and get this in my own playthrough, this Enherol altar statue. Yes, attack this has really interesting stats applied to it that the game doesn't really explain, but that are pretty cool. They like, lots of characters get like bonuses tied to, I'm doing my normal attacks as I would, but you told me which target to do, and therefore buffs happen. Hey, Bellara, you're not with me, but can you fix the thing? I'm so glad that you don't have to actually have the party member with you to be able to summon them in for their unique benefit, like Bellara being able to tinker around with things. Where does this thing point to? Oh, up there? I see. Ah. Oh, Steel, thank you very much for the 24 months of sub. Congrats on being in Double Exposure and Veilguard. Life doesn't feel quite real still right now. Both of those were things that I didn't quite believe when... Well, when I was over them, I didn't know what they were, but when I found out what they were, I didn't quite believe it. It's been a lot.
The gods will have you.
Alright. Here we go.
As the gods' champion passed freely, so will you.
Here we go, and that's the eluvian we were heading for.
I didn't know this many eluvians still existed. Where do they go?
Time to find out.
Oh, I don't think we decided which one we were doing, did we? We're recruit an assassin. Let's recruit an assassin first. I want to get Lucanis. Let's go meet the other person in my faction, the other assassin. Lucanis is fascinating. I love him. He's a very good boy. I like this boy a lot. One of the few men I will approve of.
Treviso, one of the finest cities in Antiva. Now living under
He is.
occupation.
I want to protect him so much. For
I've
such a
arranged for
gruff
one of my
mystery
friends to meet
murder
us.
boy, I want to protect him.
You made it. I hear you go by Rook these days.
Yeah, I go by a pseudonym after you kicked me out of the assassin organization. Doing too much cool shit.
It's good to see you. Meet Andorotea of House Cantori.
No need to be formal with friends. Thea, please. Come. Viago is gathering the others. He's happy you're home.
I doubt that.
Trust me, he complains more when you're not around.
Oh,
Come with us.
there are Canary
Antiva
soldiers
have made
hanging out
themselves at home
here.
We have suffered their company for too long. The Antam reached a stalemate in their war with Tevinter. Some turned here instead. Antiva was rich, comfortable, and has no standing army to stop them.
She stretched it well enough.
Oopsie, a slightly unwelcome army just hanging out in your community. We're gonna have to deal with that.
I hate seeing Treviso ground down.
This occupation will not last. The Antivan crows remain. And one day, I will see a knife through every would-be tyrant's throat.
Yeah, it's interesting. Terra says, I'm fascinated by the direction that we're taking the Canary. The Anton splitting from the Q makes the term to have a shock almost meaningless.
We have arrived.
Yeah, it's unclear
casino?
whether
The Cantori?
like the Anton are now like following the Qn to what regard? Like, is this a Catholic Protestant split or is this a complete splinter faction? But yeah, it is
Diamond.
got interesting implications for sure.
Did you finish that contract? To stop the Dreadwolf?
Hello, Viago. And it's complicated.
How many times do I have to tell you? Crows always finish the job.
We just can't take initiative, right? My run-in with the Anton taught me that.
Don't let him scold you too much. V was worried about you.
Rook, this is Catarina de la Morte.
The first Talon. I'm honored, which makes you...
Ilario de la Morte. Her grandson.
Hello, old
What
Italian
brings you here?
assassin lady.
Right. My target is a pair of elven gods, or that's what they call themselves. They're ancient blighted mages. I need our best, The man who brought blood mages and Venatori to their knees.
Lucanis. My grandson. They called him the Demon of Virantium. He was the one who did those jobs.
I do have a prosthetic dual horn. One of my horns is snapped off halfway, and instead a sort of jeweled end has been placed on it, which I think is pretty cool. Still, I'm glad that you thought my points on double exposure were good. I spent probably the last 6 months trying to work out how I wanted to talk about double exposure, and I'm glad I did so in a decent way. But yes, Assassin Nana is pretty good. I like her whole vibe.
Exactly who we're after.
Except Lucanis de la Morte is dead. He was killed a year ago.
Was he, though? He was in trailers for
what
the game.
I say he doesn't leave this room.
Okay, miss.
The body our people brought back was not my grandson. It was dressed in his clothing, but it had been altered with blood magic to have his face.
My cousin is still alive? And you didn't think to tell me?
His ship was attacked. We knew someone sold him out.
So you kept your suspicions to yourself.
But you've brought it up now. Why?
I reckon you know where he
I've
is.
had eyes on the Venatori ever since they took my grandson from me. They
Her
were
whole
hunting
aesthetic is
your
great.
dread wolf. And what you did to his ritual threw them into disarray. They made mistakes, and now I have a location. The Ossuary, where the demon of Virantium is kept. Find this Ossuary. Free Lucanis. You'll have your god killer. And I'll have my grandson.
Terra, we will talk more about Tash when we get there. Look, you're not wrong that Tash is kind of a little bit Barbella from season 11 of Dice Funk. I had no idea. I could not have predicted how well that would line up, but yes, I have seemingly been playing Tash from Dragon Age a little bit in the most recent Dice Funk season, and that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, we'll get to Tash when we get there. That's a ways off yet. I think I was like 17 hours in before getting to that recruitment mission, but we'll get there.
Come. Katarina arranged the boat. One of our mages will meet us there.
A boat?
I would imagine like early next week probably will be Tash.
Or that one could hold the demon of Virantium. The Ossuary lies beneath the sea. A fact I learned mere minutes ago.
Under the... Oh, this is gonna be just great.
You're not happy Katarina kept this from you.
Would you be? Lucanis is family. Maybe she thought I'd act too rash if it meant saving him. And now...
Are you coming with us?
It's possible we've been watched. If all of us vanish from the dock, you play the alluring hero. I know Treviso. If we have a tail, I have a better chance of distracting their interest.
These Spanish accents, they don't sound Spanish to me. Maybe I'm wrong. It's Mediterranean Europe. There's a lot of overlap of accent region. They don't sound Spanish to me as Spanish speaking. Yeah, I didn't think this was what
So how do we get in?
Spanish sounded
You'll
like.
see.
As someone with Spanish family.
Someone or something already took down the guards.
I can't decide if that's good or bad. But we have a demon to find. And
Look at this cool-ass underwater prison. Look, if you're gonna get locked up for crimes, at least have
any prison I've seen.
Cool views out the window. I'm gonna grab some of these. Yeah, the leaks are concerning, as are all of the dead prison guards. None of these are things you want to see in an underwater prison.
Oh, so the place is underwater and falling apart. That seems real safe.
Down we go.
I can't believe all this is underwater. If the enchantments containing this place ever failed...
Do we really need another assassin? We already have you, and you're great.
We're trying to kill gods, Harding. We're going to need a lot of knives.
You are going to need a lot of knives to kill gods. That much is probably true. Subnautica 2 isn't what I expected. Alright. That's a very glowy prison cell.
Whatever's behind that door, it's important. Which means that's the right direction.
And we break through.
Can't
All
break
right,
the crystals.
we're almost through.
Time to meet the best boy.
We don't have to
Or
fight.
not quite yet.
We're just here for Lucanis de la Morte. Get ready.
Bloody hell! Dragon of mystery! Lucanis, dragon of night! Your faithful corpse!
His best boy, Lucanis. I love him. With his cool, fucking gothic, dark angel wings.
I'm guessing you're the reason we're here.
Who are you? Who sent you?
My name's Rook. House Deriva. I'm here to bring you home.
House Deriva. You're a crow.
And you're possessed by a demon.
It's complicated.
Katerina promised us mage
You're a
kill
little
if we
ghost
broke you out of
buddy in
here.
him.
I can still work.
Good. Because I'm pretty sure Mervena
They put a man in this game. It's fine for
They
this
have
one.
a vial of my blood. They can use it to control me. I cannot leave it in their hands. And I had a contract when I was captured. One of my targets is here, Calivan.
Yeah, this man is okay because he has a ghost living inside him. He's got a demon in him. So while his pronouns may be he, him, and the ghost's pronouns may be he, him, I could point at that body and it would be correct to say they or them, and therefore they, them, all okay. We're using they, them pronouns. This man is okay. Okay, Latin American voice actors.
Crows don't break
That
contracts.
makes sense. Hey, them
All right,
cis men,
we'll help.
exactly.
But in return, I want help killing some things.
I'll owe you.
I'm sure we'll owe each other before this
A
is all
rare
over.
use of the
Let's go.
one body, plural they, them.
So, first order of business?
Blood first, then my target, Calivan.
Yeah.
The prison warden.
Where do we find them?
We gotta go find a vial of this man's blood, because being someone infected with a demon, if they use some of his blood, they can control his actions. They do blood magic on it. We gotta get the blood back so they can't just control his mind. Okay, let's get the regenerating magic shield off. We don't destroy it fast enough, it regenerates. Barrier, that's the word I'm looking for. Harding to a heal.
Take him down.
Is the Veil well guarded? We're doing our best to guard it. Oh, I'm dead. Don't worry about it.
This is a big place.
Every party member is romanceable. Don't worry, we can
keeps it under guard.
We can kiss this hot boy if we want. He's a kissable hot boy.
And it's chaos.
I don't believe he's who we are gonna smooch on this playthrough. Maybe if chat really falls in love with him, maybe I change path. But my plan right now is not for him to be smooch. I got other smooch opportunities to introduce us to. What was that? That's the key.
Wait, were they torturing demons? How? Why?
They didn't all start out as demons. Zara made sure they ended up that way.
Zara?
Zara Renata. There might be a higher-ranking Venatori somewhere, but I don't know of one. This place is all her.
Let's start fighting some crystals. Is this first one connected? No, I can just break this one. But the way that these crystals work is that they're all connected to each other. You've got to find one that doesn't have a shield around it, and destroy that, and that will then remove the shield off a different one. You've got to like find a whole chain of them. None of them are here.
Corpses
Okay, I'll double
possessed
back.
by demons. Watch out.
Zara Renata's work. This place exists for her to make new, worse kinds of demons.
Okay, those are shielded, oh, it's up there. And that will hopefully shield that one. Shield the ones on the doors. There we go, sorted. I can solve puzzles. Increased healing received? Yes, I'll take that. Give me more healing. Okay, can't go that way. Okay, this way, okay.
Venatoria ahead.
Yeah, Solas would only date women who were elves, which is weird because, yeah, no, he had some beliefs. Okay, do we have anything? No, we have nothing right now that's going to chain with any of your starting abilities with Ernest, but we'll get there.
So the vial of blood the Venatori took from you...
It's for blood magic, to control me, and the demon. Until it's gone, I cannot touch Calivan.
I mean, that's a good way to keep prisoners. Force them to have a demon in them so that you can blood magic control them. So if they try and escape, you just turn on the blood magic and oops, they're stuck. It's a security measure for sure, not one that seemingly worked out as it was intended, but in theory, a safety measure.
Great. Now what?
What?
Lucanis has magic powers.
The demon pulled all of that from the Fade?
I'm as surprised as you.
He can pull portals out of the Nether Realm.
They're fighting? But the Venatori made all these monsters, didn't they?
Blood mages never. Zara can summon all of the demons she wants, but they don't have to obey her.
Ooh. Having a hard time. Just melt this man.
Zara want all these undead for?
Nothing. Those are the failures.
If those are failures, what does success look like?
Ooh, runes!
She took the best results out a few days ago, but some of the demons she created are still here.
I need to remember to use the rune mechanic, because it's an interesting mechanic I consistently forget is here. So, if we go to character and equip something onto one of these slots. What's this first one we have? All your weapons deal cold damage for 20 seconds. Cool! Oh, did I actually equip that or did I back out of it? I think I backed out of it for some reason, yeah, so let's... And now, we can add cold damage for 20 seconds to one of our weapons by doing this. Now we've got necrosis and cold happening. I mean, I wonder if the rune you get maybe differs based on class or something like that. Tell us, Alenkel, if you don't want it to use the cursor, there is an option in the settings to change it so that it just snaps from one icon to another. More damage to barrier, interesting. I don't know what that did. Trust it did something. Yeah, I really like the...
He said he's the one in charge?
One of my biggest complaints about Inquisition when we were replaying it on stream earlier this year was I really just did not enjoy the loot system. It was, my pockets were constantly full of stuff that I had no idea if I needed to keep or needed to get rid of and what was important and what I could throw away. And an overwhelming amount of things. This... superb.
No.
Beautiful.
Lucky. He runs this place
streamlined nicely.
He was my target a year ago. Now we both want him.
We meaning...
Don't forgive. They're why this place exists. This is what success looks like.
use the attack this function. I always forget to use. Let's really fight these safely from the back line as best we can. Take our time. Be a safe distance, no reason to get closer. Let me get my big process out. There we go, we're on it. Safe as houses. I should have brought Nav. We'd have had stuff for ignition. Had ignition abilities available. Okay, I'm gonna find the unguarded red. Yeah. Oh no, we don't. The door is open. Make as a shortcut. I want this free item. Aha. Easy enough.
How are we supposed to find this thing?
I know it's here. We can smell it.
Oh, no. Not the right way. Good to know. Good to know.
As you wish.
Lava could be my friend. You don't know me. I could befriend lava. Okay, just made the jump. Just made it. Okay, so where is open now? We smashed the red crystal up there.
We need to get that barrier down. Find the crystals that power it.
Yes, Lucanis, I'm trying to find the crystal. That one up there broke. And I think we're ultimately trying to get into there. Oh, we can go in here. There's so much treasure everywhere if you ever look behind a thing. Or destroy a thing to look under it. Constant, yeah, sure, have some
There,
treasure, why
just
not?
2 left now.
If a place feels like there would be something hidden there,
There. Just
pretty
one
good
crystal
chance there's something
between
hidden,
us and the
which
other.
is nice to be able to rely on from a
The
game.
barrier should be down.
Let's see what's on the other side.
When you said a vial of blood, I thought it would be small.
There. That's the one. It has to be.
There we go, blood gone.
It's finally
None
gone.
left.
So now what?
Now we find Calivan.
And go find your assassin target, because contract is never left unfulfilled. I assume they took a little bit of blood over and over again over time, would be my guess. Because, yeah, that is a lot of blood. There's like a whole torso's worth of blood.
Rook, it's us against gods, Harding.
I am right here, you know.
It's fine. We can talk about something else. What's Katarina like?
After so long in this pit, I barely remember.
Oh hey, boss fight arena. You're gonna let me get that health before the cutscene starts, are you?
Oh, this was entirely unnecessary. Zara and her little jests. He's already the demon of Virantium. Won't this be ironic? Hilarious. And now look at the mess you've made of my facility. She always leaves me to clean up.
So this is Calivan.
He is. The target I was sent for a year ago. A crow never abandons a contract.
He is gay Dracula, just a little bit.
What did they offer you in exchange for my...
We gotta kill gay Dracula. He'll be fine. He'll be okay.
Was it worth it? Oh, you brought ruffians with you. Were you lonely?
Stop hitting me.
You are a failed experiment, not worthy of my time.
3 of this.
My domain. No one leaves here. You will pay for your arrogance, Crow.
Okay, Dracula is a little redundant. I will concede.
I am the right hand of Zara. You will fall. You are nothing to the Venatori. By blood, I command you.
Is it all about Calivan, or is it just your bride baby? Yes, the Spidey sense thing around my head, I think, is an accessibility. I think it might have been one of the things in the accessibility settings. I can't remember if it's there as default for players or not, but I do love the visual tell of like, yep, there's a danger thing happening. You should dodge for this. I know I put some stuff on for additional audio visual cues for incoming attacks. I know there's a sound that's playing just before an attack. That's not very much in accessibility setting on. God, yeah, the dodge is so satisfying in this. It's real good. Dodge feels great. Harding, heal. Yeah, Cass says, the dodge itself is also extremely clearing when it's live, since, well, you're transparent. The pump was not originally intended. Yeah, that's the thing. It does like a little halfway beat to go, you are halfway through the dodge, and you can sort of feel a rumble, and then the other half plays out in your back. It's very clear about you're like tangibly there or not as to whether you're going to take damage or not. It's all real nice touches.
I will have order! I will not be defeated! No! I will not be a victim like the others!
Ah, so close, so close. Yeah, Harding was live again with the heal. I was ready. I don't think it's going to put me back to phase 1. I think it's going to put me back to the 50% health Calivan portion.
No! I will not be a victim.
Yeah,
like
okay,
the
that's
others.
cool. Yeah, that's fine. I like that there's sometimes mid-boss checkpointing on the default difficulty for stuff like this. But, like, you clearly made it to the bit you needed to make it to. You're all right. Right, just very respectful of my time as a player.
I will not be defeated. I will have order.
Stay alive long enough for Harding to come back online in 4 seconds. Repop the healing. Oh, I popped the healing, it just hadn't kicked in yet. Okay, we can do this. The other thing I need to look around and see whether it does, which I think it does, is it replenishes the... Get another potion jars? Yes, it does. So even if you use up all these jars to, like, gain additional potions during the first half, if you die in the second half and have to restart from here, you can go get 4 potion bottles again. You're not sort of trapped in an unwinnable position. Right, again, nice little quality of life stuff. There we go, I got that dodge timing down now. Now I have actual potions, so I'm not going to have to wait around for Harding to be ready. Keep an eye out for that flame that does a sort of circular laser around it. You gotta get rid of the barrier. Because then we can actually do damage to his health again. There we go. Got that dodge. I forgot there was a third one in the path. At the time, yeah, I dodged the first 2. So close. There we go. Remembering that I could recollect the healing potions really helped.
The crows send their regards.
So we got your target.
Yes. The job's done.
The purple gauge is a stagger. It did fill up really slowly. A lot of the starting weapons that a lot of your characters have are designed to do damage rather than to build stagger. Stagger is a specific attribute of weapons. As I've gone further into my personal playthrough, I've started to have a bit more of a preference for heavy stagger at the expense of a little bit of damage. Stagger is a very rare occurrence early game, but you can kind of spec toward it deliberately as you go, and make it much more achievable.
Smells like blood.
Oh, here's his little ghost boy.
Not yet.
Lucanis? Are you alright? Lucanis, what are you looking at?
Careful. They know we're not right.
You cannot see him. I wondered.
I really wish Spike
clearly
was
have things
visible
to
like
discuss.
this in more cutscenes.
Somewhere else.
I would love him
Agreed.
to have him just chiming in
think
during cutscenes.
It's time I got some air.
But yes, purple is a stagger. It's going to be very rare that we see it pop off until we get a bit further in the game. Oh yeah, here we go. So if we use this new weapon for Lucanis, his physical damage will go up by 14, but his stagger will go up by 51. So he will be considerably better at inflicting stagger, which is great. That's exactly what I was getting at. Thank you, game, for giving me such a wonderful example to reference. What was that? Despair, shame, horror. Some of the other prisoners. Yeah, I'll equip that. I'm just waiting for my first electric staff, and then you'll all see. Right, I got 5 points to spend. Okay. Stagger goes up 20%. Or yeah, so now we'll do 20% more stagger. That'll get us to here. Versus barrier, we could really do with being higher. And we can pick up Tempest and make our electric damage stronger. Tempest is the ability that I love most in this game so far. It's my favorite one to have equipped. Let me quickly... I have it on my character now. Let me show you what Tempest does. I don't know if it'll show it off properly because there's no enemies to hit, but it creates this sort of circle around me that enemies within it will just get hit by these big fuck-off strikes of lightning. They're very powerful, but also once I've set it off, I can just be kind of dodging around, not having to get attacks in, letting my... Like, these do good damage and really good stagger. It is the thing that I'm building my build around, is summon the storm down. While I remember, let's do some skill point shopping. Let's increase your ability to heal. Harding. Yeah, I think, honestly, for all of the base people, I'm going to just get a couple of points into their healing skills early on. You've got no points to spend right now. You've got... Where do we start with you? Oh, we really need to take you out fighting. You are lacking in levels. Okay, we'll take you out on some missions soon, don't worry.
Shall we go?
But yes, that lightning storm, as soon as I can find a good lightning staff, you will see the storm mage that I become, that I've been digging.
I'm ready to get out of this place.
Imagine how I feel.
Oh, Lisby, I'm really glad you're enjoying getting to see the game be played. Hope you're having a good evening. Right, so Lucanis is alive. That's a start. We got a new assassin friend. We're both in the assassins. That means he's gonna be our bestest best friend.
Make it.
Lucanis, what happened here? A message from Zara Renata. I can't believe it. You're home. Zara? Her people got this close?
The woman who runs the prison.
The Venatori witch who captured me.
Revenge for the breakout, maybe?
Where's Katerina?
She's...
Goth Granny Assassin.
Got her in the confusion.
They got her.
I get one of you back, only to lose the other.
I hope you didn't all get attached to Goth Granny murder stabs.
Lucanis, I am so sorry.
I need to work.
Are you sure? You should take some time.
I don't need time. I need a target. You just got here, and already you want to leave again?
He's got a ghost called
Katerina
Spite
gave me
living
a
in him.
contract.
Yeah, he needs to go get some
I'm not
revenge.
breaking the last deal she ever made. And I owe Rook. Once that's done, I'll come home.
Oh, you're gonna fulfill your mum's final assassin contract.
I'll return him in one piece.
Thank you. Cousin, when you find Sarah, I need to be there.
We are under attack. Antam on one side and Avenatori on the other.
I feel like the Italian assassin family, particularly the cousin who was just talking, I feel like they have slightly more money put into their facial animations than anyone else. And I'm not saying that anyone else's facial animations aren't fancy, but they give this smoldering Italian assassin just like a little extra.
Forget revenge. We need you.
No, Viago. Sarah came for us here.
I'll point it out when he's on screen
took
again.
Katerina from my house. You find her and cut her heart out, Lucanis. Vi and I will hold down the fort.
I'll give her your regards, Thea.
Maybe it is just that he doesn't have facial hair and more of it's visible. But yeah, a one-shaved assassin man. He really puts on the Joey Tribbiani of his face a little bit. I don't know how better to put it.
Was free at last. Sooner or later, debts new and old would come due.
Oh, witch lady having a naked bloodbath's gonna come get you, Lucanis.
And they would all be paid in blood.
Here's our nice early game tease for companion quest that will eventually need doing. Can I make her worse? I mean, in a sense.
They're the same thing. Mostly, kind of.
Except one will manipulate you, or kill you, or both.
But how do you get rid of them?
What's everyone talking about?
Spite.
The demon in Lucanis. When a person gets possessed, the demon usually takes control.
And they turn into a monster. The spirit just molds them however they want.
I've heard of abominations being cured by killing the demon in the Fade. That's not a sure bet, though.
Well, there's one way, but it's, well... We'd have to,
You'd have to kill me.
That can't be the only solution. Can't we reason with Spite, maybe? Persuade it to leave?
Talk doesn't work on Spite.
Oh, they won't hurt you. How sweet. I want to talk to them.
Before we do, well, that... Let's think this through some more.
Spite is so
There has to be a solution.
interesting.
I have people in Marathas I can ask, but I wouldn't get my hopes up.
All right. So what next?
Let me talk to them. I want to talk to...
Lucanis!
Nope. It's fine. I'm fine.
So, I've been thinking about Lucanis and Spite a lot over the last few days. I have not seen his companion quest all the way through to the end yet, so I can speculate from a place of relative safety. It feels a lot like, if any of you have seen The Owl House, it feels a lot like, I feel like what's going on here is similar to Ida and the Owl Beast. This thing that can, like, violently force its way out of you and take control ultimately just wants to be heard and known and not locked away inside, and, like, is just as unhappy about the being tethered to you as you are about the situation. Like, that's my gut about where this might be going. I like the thought of that being it. Yeah. it's Spite is fascinating because, like, without saying too much, the first few examples I can think of times where we hear from Spike in this game, you know, and it's worth looking out for the next couple of times it comes up. Spite really only seems to want to take control to have a conversation with the other people in the room, rather than being, like, bottled down. And the anger seems to be at why are you locking me up and not letting me have a turn speaking, which is interesting.
What did he do that for?
Throwing a tantrum when he doesn't get his way?
But he could just take you over, make you do what he wants.
It's, you know, not great, but kind of good news, in a way.
He's done this before? Enough that you just shrug it off?
He'd do this in the ossuary. The Fate does whatever his spirit wants. Real walls and chains, not so much. Just give me a minute. He'll get bored once everyone leaves.
The way that people talk to him about Spite and the way he talks about Spite, and this is another thread that I would really be interested to see if gets explored by the time I'm done with its companion quest, is it feels like an abusive relationship. It feels like I've learnt to live with the abuser, and I feel like I'm stuck in this situation. Right?
I don't like leaving you alone with the demon.
You don't have to worry about me.
Lucanis.
In
Please.
Dragon Age, are there demons of gender dysphoria? I have no idea, but gender dysphoria can definitely exist in Dragon Age without demons. This game just has no explanation needed for trans people. I love that. I'm a big fan. There we go. We have recruited another party member.
Antiva is in rough shape under the Antom's occupation. I should check in with the other crows.
So, that might be what we do today. So I might go back to that area and just go do some... I might just go do some side quests in Antiva.
You asked for time. Is this long enough?
Yes, my head's clear. Though I would kill for a decent cup of coffee.
Have you? For coffee, I mean.
Not today. You've got questions. You might as well ask them.
You're the best mage killer in the Antivan Crows. So how'd the Venatori catch you?
Right, it's been a whole 5 seconds.
Someone set me up. I had a contract for Calivan, in the ossuary. I took a ship from Treviso to Inrathus. They were waiting for me. Knew which ship and when it would arrive. I don't know how they convinced the crows I was dead, but I woke up in the ossuary with Zara gloating about it.
Sounds like they probably had an insider, one would guess.
I know Katerina volunteered you to work with us. Are you okay with that?
Did Viago ever consult with you before sending you on a contract?
Viago would barely tell me what the job was beforehand. But I'm not the demon of Virantium.
Katerina was first Talon. You don't refuse a contract from the first Talon. Not if you're smart. But there's plenty of reason for me to work with you beyond that, Rook.
Such as?
I owe you a debt, for one. And after a year in that hole, maybe I'm looking forward to stabbing a god or two in the back.
Grimlock Master, as long as your theory is not based on anything that hasn't yet come up in this streamed playthrough, it's based purely on stuff we've seen, sure, feel free to share your thoughts that are speculation and not confirmed.
The Crossroads can be dicey, but the Lighthouse is safe. Oh, and if you see a spirit around called the Caretaker,
can I start
they're
upgrading
friendly.
my stuff? That's a question.
After the ossuary, that will be a pleasant change. You haven't asked about Spite.
Yeah,
From
we'll
what I've
leave it
seen,
for
I'd
now
say
then.
he picked the right
Grimlock.
name.
We'll get
He's
there.
stronger when I sleep, so I try not to do it much. No one was in the ossuary by choice, not even the demons. We both did what we had to get out of there.
Alazalankill says, grandson is the one who had the most to gain, so he's my gut feeling, but all I've seen is this. I mean, it's the obvious place to start looking is who has something to gain from bad stuff befalling the family.
So, if you're an abomination...
I suppose I should get used to that.
But I heard that only mages can get possessed by demons.
I'm skilled with a blade, but I promise you, without spite, I have the magical talent of a brick. There must be some difference between a demon deceiving their way into a body and being forced into one. Only Zara knows for sure.
I admire you. What you've been through would break most people.
I would not give Zara the satisfaction.
Still, you must be a very courageous man.
A very stubborn one, perhaps, but that's kind of you to say. Leave Spike to me. If he's trapped in this world, he has good reason to fight for it. For now, I must honor our contract.
Johnny Desu, have a good night.
Gods, magic, politics. Things are going to get very bloody.
Yeah, they are, and I'm gonna flirt with you every step of the way until maybe I stop. Maybe I commit to flirting with you. You are pretty interesting. Okay, let's see. Harding's got stuff to say. Bellara's got stuff to say. Can I upgrade my gear? Yes, I can start upgrading my gear. Cool. So, currently equipped gear per character. Okay, I need to... Okay, I can rank up the workshop for the first time. That's good.
Abundance.
Okay, can I just look at my stars? I don't have an electric one yet, do I? I've got necrotic, ice, and... yeah, necrotic, and cold. Yeah, Rock Smasher, that sounds about right. I think about 17 hours in, I was recruiting Parsh, who was my penultimate party member. After that, I still had Emmerich. So I think around 20 hours sounds about right, probably, for when I recruited Emmerich and had the full party. Yeah, let's upgrade some armor. Upgrade this at least the once. Yeah, I was doing like basically every single side quest I came across before I progressed anything plot. I've been playing like not 100%ing necessarily, but a pretty high completion percent. I've been quite obsessively playing it, so I've definitely stretched out the main plot quite considerably. Also pausing during play to like send clips to my mum and stuff. This reminds me, I'm gonna have my phone out for a sec. Yeah, you can tell that, like, the hate mob online got a bit much over the last week, that, like, that it kind of grew. In that family members of mine who don't know about video game stuff have been messaging me to check in and check if I'm okay. I'm like, oh, it's spread, huh? Okay, let's check what everyone's got going on. Chat to Bellara, because I don't think we've done a hangout with Bellara yet.
Oh, shit! No! Okay. Try again. Deep breaths. There. Oh, God! Do you hear me? Oh no! Sorry. Just breaking things.
Want help? I could, I don't know, kick it or something.
Oh, yes. Just be careful. Some things don't do well. If you break them, I mean.
What kind of don't do well are we talking about?
Oh, you know, reality tears, wild magical energy. Also, for some reason, bees. I don't know why. And I don't know why this won't work. Thought I'd figured it out. But it keeps breaking, and I can't get my thoughts to line up.
You fixed the eluvian, though.
The eluvian was easy. Once I replaced the resonance crystals, adjusted the lyrium lens, it worked fine. I mean, I had to realign the matrices, but it just worked. Not like this thing.
Grimlock Master says, my favorite autistic elf. Yeah, ADHD vibes entirely. Autistic ADHD combo package. I'm a big fan. Tara says, is there anything your mum has said that you're willing to share? What you shared last stream was too cute not to be curious. She's not watched any more Dragon Age since last stream. You know, I might share a few more things she says here and there. If they're things that I feel like she'd be fine with people knowing. I played a bunch over the weekend and recorded a bunch of clips and then today uploaded them all so I can send Google Drive links over to her. So she's got like nearly an hour more Dragon Age that she's excited to watch and hasn't watched yet. So, you know, if and when some more gets watched, if she says anything particularly cute, I might paraphrase it back here. Yeah, you got this. You're
You
smart.
don't give yourself enough credit.
You got the
You're
tism. You
smart.
got this.
You'll figure it out.
Well, thank you for thinking that.
Of course. Also, what is it exactly?
It's the Nodus Dirthalin, the 8th archive. I heard it was gone forever, but here it is.
So what does it do?
It knows things, whatever its creator knew, at least. So much knowledge, all the wonders of Elvenon. Or at least bits of them, which is more than we have. Once I figure it out, at least, whoever made it was powerful, but clumsy. It's resonating off tempo. Need to match it. First, introduce a microfracture, but before that, you'll need the Fate Harmonics, so...
Hit it. Turn it off and on again.
I ramble sometimes. I'm a rambler. Ruined a lot of relationships. Most of the people I've been with didn't care for it.
I feel
And
like...
I'm doing it.
I feel
Again.
like a romance path with her is gonna be really cute. I don't think this playthrough is gonna be the one for it, necessarily. But I do think that I can see how hers might end up being a really sweet, rewarding romance path. I'm definitely up for at some point in time doing a romance Bellara playthrough. I'm gonna flirt
I
at
could
least
listen
for
to
now.
you ramble all day.
Oh, well, same to you. Not that you ramble, you should talk more. I mean, you talk plenty. Just the right amount. Ideal talking. Okay.
Info
Anyway,
dumping,
the
apologizing,
Nodus
and then
Dirthalin.
doing awkward
I'll
social
get back to
interaction, not knowing how
Soon.
to do the rules.
But I think I need a break. Maybe
get
take
it.
a nap and I can finish later.
Hey, if napping works, then nap away.
Okay, I will. Anyways, let me know if you need me. I'll be ready.
They'd found someone who could fix their mirror. One of Arlathan's own veil jumpers. Just what they were looking for. And Bellara had found something else. An artifact that held a wealth of lost knowledge. But a prize like that was going to attract more attention than they'd bargained for.
I love these little Varric teasers of like, yeah, sure, things were going good, but a bad thing was coming. Ooh. Also, a little birdie told me I might be able to play this on a PS5 Pro soon, and I'm excited to see whether there's any noticeable visual difference or not. I'm curious to see in person how that Pro do. That Pro look
I'm
notably
heading out
shinier?
to practice my new magic. I could use some moral support. I really have to get better at using my new abilities.
This is
Don't want
PS5.
to drop a rock on someone's head.
Can I tell you the place I've most noticed graphical weirdness on PS5? It's a really small little detail. On PS5, on the base PS5, this is using a version of AMD's FSR, which is their sort of equivalent of DLSS, their upscaling tech. And it's not the best of the upscalers that's out there in terms of consistency. And there's one place that I notice FSR trying to up the resolution and, like, not resolving properly. And it's sometimes when you look at the teeth of characters, you'll sometimes have an upper and lower row of teeth and then some teeth in the middle just for a frame or two, while it tries to work out what's going on with teeth. And, like, sometimes this looks great on PS5, but teeth is one of those places where, like, I sometimes notice and I'm like, that's an FSR2 artifact I see there. Which I'm very curious whether PlayStation's proprietary one, PSSR, that they're doing on PS5 Pro, whether that resolves some of those issues. Harding lives like this for now. Everyone lives kind of like this until you start doing their friendship quest. And the more you companion quest them, the more they, like, actually start, like, living in their places properly. Right. The Antam occupying Treviso think they can outlast the Crows. We've got to prove them wrong. You know what? Let's go back to Treviso. I want to go do some side quests today. This is a good opportunity to show off how fast travel straight to the location of your tracked quest. Oh, such a good option. Such a nice option. You know what? Let's use two we've not been using. Let's use Nev and Bellara. Take the two of them on a mission. So yeah, you can walk through the Crossroads if you want to, like, explore, see if you can find secrets and chests and fight some stuff for experience or whatever. But yeah, you can just speedrun. So one sec. Alright. Right, sorry about the delay there. Right. Go, go, go. Rose, give me some faction quests.
I could have daggers in 100 necks by nightfall.
No doubt, but more necks would present themselves tomorrow.
I have other daggers.
Am I interrupting?
You're a crow, and a deriva. You're expected. Forgive Thea. You know how she gets when a contract is delayed.
No one likes letting a contract go stale.
And this one is personal for all of us. Perhaps more than you know.
You want help against the gods. We want Treviso free. We now think they may be the same problem. The occupation has a face. The Antam commander, Keith Lord Butcher Dathrata. But Viago thinks killing him outright is short-sighted.
The Butcher took the city suspiciously fast. Removing him is useless if someone else can repeat that, with the help of gods or something else. We all know assassination is not really about killing. It's about sending a message.
And what message would that be?
The Crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free.
Sounds like you think the occupation wasn't just about force.
Cruel as the Butcher is, he didn't break the city with a siege. It was sudden and complete.
Like he had it all mapped. Where to march and what to close off to choke resistance.
He had inside information? Spies?
He had something.
And until we know what it was, killing him isn't the contract.
Butcher Deathrada. What do you know about him?
The Antam army fractured, split among warlords, and he seems to have kept the most traditional discipline. And the rank and file like it. His numbers keep growing, but the Butcher himself is odd.
Odd how?
He gives daily speeches about how the occupation is somehow merciful. And the way he talks, it's familiar. It's like he thinks he belongs here. And I won't have it.
Talking like it's his city and not ours.
We Crows are all the army Antiva has, but it's not like we can field a garrison. Outside support?
The king would say to call on us. The price for being patriots.
The gods care about taking Treviso?
The Butcher wants Treviso. The gods may just want the Antam.
But Antam distrust magic and outright fear demons. They should be enemies.
Power can turn anyone against their own interests, their own people.
So we send a message from the Crows. What's our first step?
We have a scout named Dareth. He said he was onto something the Butcher was hiding.
He was in the Drown district, so that's a place to start. Find our Crow and help with his contract.
Help a fellow Crow. Then what?
We break this occupation. We craft the message one step at a time.
And when we finally assassinate the person who leashed Treviso, that death will tell everyone. The Crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free. I've noted the location of Dareth and his cousin, Jacobus, in the Drown district.
Let's go find him in the Drown district, shall we? Okay, I am one of the Crows, so I should be able to...
Let's do business.
Sell a bunch of stuff to you. And we got some stuff for Lucanis. Ooh. Nice outfit. A lot of stuff we can't buy yet.
Safe travels.
Yeah, Terra says, it's great how they make a point that many of the groups are supposed to hate each other, but their principles mean nothing when they can gain power. Yeah, that doesn't remind me of the real world in any regard, that people would side against their enemies who actively have a vested interest in their downfall
That veil
for
bubble we found
perceived
you in. How
power
often
and
does this happen
safety.
in Arlington?
Sometimes, often, never. Depends on the day, and they're unpredictable. And with Elgranon and Gillinane loose, who knows what might get twisted up.
It might even suggest that power corrupts.
Inherent instability and survival uncertainty aside, they really are fascinating.
I'll take your word for
It,
it.
I'm certainly not reminded of, TERFs siding with anti-abortion, right-wing grifters because, well, they both hate trans people. You'll be powerful allies in the fight. It's not really in your best interests, is it?
The market never stops, even during occupation.
So many things you could buy. How do you choose?
The Leopard's 18 Faces party won't eat my face. Exactly. Oh! You've got a kitty. Of course you can have some of my money. Make sure you get the good cat food. Oh, there was a fast travel thing near here that I just didn't walk near. I need to keep an eye on the minimap and remember to... Oh no, it wasn't there. Okay. At the other side of this? I need to remember to keep an eye out for these fast travel points and actually, like, walk near them as I do my first exploration run of a new area. Where are you at, lad? What do you know?
Keep your eyes open. We may not be the only ones interested.
He was my cousin!
Oh! Sounds like a bad start.
Killed Darren! They killed my cousin!
Ooh. Ah, now this is what the stagger bar does. I can do a fancy finisher. See how much more frequently I'm getting the stagger effect now that I have my very high stagger lightning bolts. You may well have heard a tavern song from Inquisition. Rock Smasher says I've been building a Spellblade guy. That's what I'm building towards. I'm going via electrical powers into Spellblade. But I can't start Spellblade until like level 30 properly,
Please,
so...
you have to finish
Or is it
Derek's
20?
contract.
Might be 20.
It's about the Butcher.
I think it's 20 you start Spellblade.
My cousin was going to spy on the Butcher. He told me we'd pick up the contract from a dead
it's 20,
drop.
then 30 and 40 for
then
halves of the
Someone
specialization.
has to finish this for Derek. Please.
We will. You should get back to the diamond.
I will. Just give me a minute.
And Aldrin, how goes Veilguard? Veilguard's going good. We recruited a broody guy with a ghost living in him. Now we're running around doing stuff for the assassins. Investigating murders.
That note said Dareth should pick up the contract at the usual place across from Taya and Viago. Just follow the marks. The crow who dropped it off left marks for Dareth to follow.
I spotted some...
That's a crow marker.
These marks?
Real tricky to throw. That's gotta be Dareth's trail.
I'd better
Keep an
follow
eye out.
those marks, and definitely not just follow the waypoint marker, which will allow me to kind of ignore the crow marks and just go to where I'm going. I'm definitely following the crow marks.
Another mark this way.
Wow. Even during an occupation, the...
Here's another crow mark.
I definitely saw that additional crow mark. You know me, famously observant as to where I'm going.
Look, whatever you got, I'm not buying one.
Can you disable the waypoint if you want to actually try following this marks? Oh, you can. I'm just... I know I have ADHD, and I do not trust my own ability to actually follow those crow marks and not get lost, so I'm just...
Our next crow mark.
I know I will have more fun just following the waymark and be like, look, I definitely followed the paintings. I know myself too well to trust myself
This
trying
is
to
where the marks
navigate
lead.
here, discovering these paint marks. The Butcher of Treviso has employed a poisoner who manufactures Kamek. The recipient is also to do with the traitor that allowed the Antam into the city. Okay.
The Butcher is making poison. Kamek.
I've heard of it. It does things to your mind. Nothing pleasant.
If I were the Butcher, it'd be a good way to keep people in line. The Antam brought in a
Talus,
Kamek
I
master
hope
to
you
mix
enjoy the
poison.
game.
He's at the garrison. We stop him there before this goes any further.
Hey, Shodan, I'm doing good. I'm grumbly that I had to do work that wasn't just playing more Veilguard today. This is the first day since release that I haven't played like at least 8 hours of this game.
There's something on your mind.
Oh, one sec. There you go, is that what's happening? I was trying to work out why my phone said that I was watching this stream that I'm doing. It's because I hadn't disconnected from the TV downstairs, and I'm guessing Jane is watching the stream on YouTube. I was like, why does my phone say I'm watching the stream? I'm not watching the stream, am I? I confused myself. Having fun with it? Yeah, I played 32 hours in about 4 days. I'm having a great time. I had to put it down for work today. I haven't played any before the stream tonight, and it's the hardest thing I've done in a while. Gosh.
It's just Demetta's Crossing. I can't stop thinking about it. Those people. What if it happens again? What if it's happening all over right now and we just don't know about it?
Something happens somewhere remote. It could take a while for word to get out.
Nev!
What? If we pretend it's not possible, we might miss something.
I just want to help, but this... it's all so big.
Alright, I think we are there. Yeah, this is where we were going. Hey, big boys.
Them out, quick.
Right, isn't this one lightning attack so good? It is the best lightning spell in this game that I have yet found. Rock Smasher says, I gotta stop playing Veilguard to play something for a review next week. That's similar to my situation. It's the kind of situation I'm in. It's, I gotta play something else for work purposes that isn't this. I'm like, I think, frankly, that I shouldn't have to play things that I agreed to play for money. I agreed to that work, but it's rude to hold me to that agreement. So I think that's, quite frankly, not fair.
Nice move.
Good work, everyone!
We're in. Let's find the comic master.
Grimlock, it's not going to be to everyone's tastes, but honestly, for me, the thing I enjoy most about these like BioWare's games is this is my group of buddies, and by the end of this, I'm gonna feel like they're my ride or dies. Like I would do anything for them, and I'm okay with having a game where it's like, hey, the primary thing is build up your trust with your buddies, help your buddies sort their things out. And, like, here's the thing. As it goes through, it becomes clear that, like, helping your friends out with their personal quests is ultimately going to lead to big faction games that will probably help you if an all-out war is to happen. Like, it front-loads it as you're just trying to get your friends' emotions good, but it's very clear by the end of it, it's like, no, doing this will win you major points with factions in ways that are interesting. Yeah, that's what we were doing.
There's a problem.
This place is forbidden!
Not to the crows.
quick I'm clearing this one out now that I have my big cool lightning spell. Groups of enemies just absolutely flattened. Yes, it becomes very clear very quickly you are going to need more than like 8 people to overthrow a pair of evil gods. But like 8 people and the factions that they can sort of sway with them, probably gonna get you there. Yeah, the lightning attack is great for getting good quick stagger as a mage. And being able to, like, because of the stagger and the fact that it knocks enemies down to the floor, it means that, it makes it way easier to play like a dodging, keeping your distance mage. Like, you don't have to be thinking about getting hits in, you just set your lightning going and dodge for the most part.
Flesh. So much flesh. The butcher did not come for me. Prove my worth.
Crows are here to end your threat, poisoner.
Poison. You face the gift of the gods!
It's also really versatile on that lightning attack, because in, like, against a group of enemies, it you know, picks and chooses and hits, like, multiple different enemies throughout the space. One-on-one, there's only one thing for it to hit, so one thing takes all the hits. And both of those are pretty solid use cases. I think, okay, why is it called the player called Rook? I think because there's alternating naming conventions. What was the, not the Inquisitor, but the previous main character from Dragon Age was called, completely blanking on name, Hawk. Yes, I was gonna say that it's birds. They alternate between like a title based on what you're doing and bird names. So like Hawk was, like 2 ago was Hawk. I would imagine like the next one would be a title like the Inquisitor. Yeah, Champion of Kirkwall was like title. They alternate like a title about what you are doing and bird is their like back and forth naming convention. That visual effect did not want to stand still there for a second. Get some witch time. I would love some witch time. There you get some. There we go. Yes, the chess piece implication is made by Rook early. It's interesting.
I'm ready.
Ooh, stun. Yes, we got a stun on the boss. I love when we can get the stun to actually work on the boss. Get some potions.
Let's do this again.
Yeah, one more there. Cool.
I'm ready.
Done. Comet Master's dead.
Thank goodness. I hate those things.
First things first. Let's destroy the rest of the poison. Then we figure out what was going on here. That's the last of the poison, thankfully. Let's look for anything else that explains what's happening.
take that. The butcher rages. Someone stole the kamek I made for him. The butcher was not pleased, locked me in here, said I was changed. Let him find another kamek master. I fulfilled my role.
Wait, this note says that wasn't all the comic. The butcher's angry because some went missing.
Who got their hands on it?
No idea. But the note does mention the butcher's inside traitor. The occupation had help. Taya and Viago need to know they were right.
Oh, we gotta do Laura's German corner in a minute. We're gonna learn some German. Okay, oh, here we are. We'll finish this quest off, then maybe it's German.
Are you out of your minds?
Someone had to act.
They most certainly did not.
Okay, I'll interrupt. I didn't want to be rude.
I told you crows to stay out of this.
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Antam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place.
You're responsible for the city?
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiva.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Antam. And now, you've angered the butcher.
There's also the gods.
Excuse me?
They're using the Antam and making them monsters.
And the butcher?
You two were right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting
I
and
reckon
betrayal.
it's you lot who
I've
were
had about
investigating
enough.
the crime
A
that
fellow
did it.
crow died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
It's my home too.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods, and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Evenchi. The crows rule Antiva.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.
Nice. Yeah, I like how many of the side quests feel like they're actually significant to the areas and factions we are exploring. On towards Skirmishing Jacket. I do not remember seeing this aesthetic before. I want to see it now. What was I gonna do? You know what, yeah, let's head back to... Let's head back to the Lighthouse, if for no other reason than I want to check the look on that new outfit. I want to do some fashion. It's fashion time. I have to work out how to get into the high-up room at some point. this is the new one. Ah, yeah, it looks way more like black and silver in the little preview image. This is why I thought I hadn't seen it yet. Is it bad that I'm really tempted for this to be my actual adventuring armor for a bit? I kind of just want to run around looking like this. That might be my combat outfit for a little bit. I do like this look. We'll see. We'll try it for now. We'll see how I feel about it. Before I get back to Antiva, does anyone else have any more social link stuff for me? Yes. Oh, Lucanis. What you got for me, boy? Is it time for us to go for coffee yet? I want to go for coffee with you. Social links.
Rook, Ilario sent word. He's got intel on Zara.
I think it's time to go get coffee with him.
Fancy a trip to Treviso?
Sounds like fun.
This is one of our first opportunities to have additional bonus dialogue options because we're playing as a trans character. Sorry, cis players, you don't get this unique content we're about to get. You're just not trans enough. Hee hee hee. Okay, we'll see what Bellara wants, but... If cisphobia truly is real, I know.
Good to see you.
And I am its
Strife sent
architect,
word.
the puppet
Some
monster.
of the artifacts we have in storage are acting up. They need a hand to make sure they stay calmed, and don't rip a hole in reality. Anyways, we can go whenever you're ready.
You've got a little social quest as well. Everyone's got little friendship quests to go do. Yeah, that's the thing. One of my big criticisms of Inquisition is that you have to get like 15, 20 hours in before any of the party members start offering you like opportunities to hang out with them properly. And I really appreciate that this gets much quicker into giving you opportunities to like hang out and get to know your party members. I think that is very much to its benefit. What do I want? Coffee with the crows. Let's go do that and then find more side quests while we're in Treviso. Okay, so Lucanis, you... apply that to Sundered, so we need someone ideally that can detonate Sundered. You apply... Oh yeah, you detonate Sundered. We'll put you as a team for now. Look, what I would say is I don't think it's taken that away. It's, rather than going, here's just one tree and you sit for 5 minutes and dig around in it, it's that same amount of information being doled out in lots of smaller conversations. And it's, you know, whether you like that or not is a preference thing, but I don't think, like, we're getting less information or less opportunities to find that stuff out. It's just a different way that it's being doled out.
Over we go.
So, hiring the demon of Virantium was your suggestion.
It was a possible lead. Finding things and tracking inventory. That's what I'm here for.
After all the jobs I did in Minrathus, the last thing I expected was a Tevinter mage to be involved in breaking me out.
Well, good. I'd hate for assassins to find me predictable.
Oh, you know what? Well, I remember. I'm doing it. It's German lesson time. We're going to learn some German together. Give me a sec. Right, so tap the matching pairs. Oder or.
Tschüss.
Tschüss is goodbye.
Milch.
Milk.
Tea.
Tea. Thank you is danke.
War.
Ah.
War.
W-A. War.
Ist meine Mutter.
Du bist meine Mutter. You are my mother. You are my mother. Mein Hund is sehr... so my dog is very... nett? Nett? Yes, my dog is very nice. Mein Hund ist sehr nett.
Meine Frau ist...
Meine Frau ist klug.
Ist.
The second one is bist. Ist is the correct one.
Wasser, bitte. Danke.
Well, Wasser, bitte.
Bitte.
Danke. Water, please. Thank you.
Danke.
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 Is thank you, not thank yes.
Bier oder Wasser?
Bier oder Wasser?
Wasser.
Beer or water? Yes, you are my daughter. Ja. Du bist meine Tochter. Ja, du bist meine Tochter.
Der Bär ist schön.
Der Bär ist schön. The A with the two dots above it are. The bar is schön. A bear, a dog. Ein Bar. Gotta find the right A. Ein Hund.
A Wein.
Bier oder Wine. Cat, a bear. Eine Katze. Ein Bar. Oh, I mistyped Katze. I didn't put the Z in it, which I know is there. A dog and a cat. Ein Hund. Eine Katze. Und eine Katze. I forgot to put the and in. You are my mother. Du bist meine Mutter. I'm rushing. I'm not thinking properly. Du bist meine Mutter. Let's go back to the exercise I missed. Katze. And. A dog and a cat, not just a dog, a cat. There we go. That's some German. We did my required German for the day. And very quickly, one last message I gotta check on. There we go. I'm on top of it. I know what I'm doing. Let's get back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. Oh, here it is. Time to do the vibe check with Lucanis and check whether he's an ally.
Come on, Ilario will meet us at Cafe Pietra. It's not that far from here. We have time before he arrives. I wouldn't mind looking around a while. The markets are running. Good. I need to get some things.
This is one of the first times I really started to kind of love Lucanis as a character.
To look around when we return from the ossuary.
This place, does it feel very different?
In some ways, more than I expected. But then, perhaps it's me. Ah, here.
A potted plant?
For Harding's garden. Spearmint is supposed to calm bad dreams. It's good in desserts, too.
He's doing his little shopping list for gifts to make friends with all his new companions.
Katarina took us both in a long time ago now. Here's the place. Bellara mentioned the daedalus seafood recipe she wants to make.
The demon of Virantium is grocery shopping for the team?
Have you seen what they eat? It's a miracle you didn't all starve before you hired me.
Not grocery shopping, it's showing he cares.
Like Bellaria and Katarina were close.
It was hard to be close to her, even for me, and I was her favorite. A good selection. Fresh fruit. Nev only eats fried fish. You'd think a detective would have discovered scurvy by now.
Is that everything on the list?
Yes, and Ilario should be here by now. Let's go before he gets himself in trouble.
Well, there's one more thing we gotta get before we're done shopping. I'm gonna buy something for Lucanis.
You can't buy something for everyone but yourself. Here, this is for you.
A wyvern-toothed dagger? I loved wyverns as a boy. Katarina would never let me have one of these, though.
Yeah, you get a little gift. You can't run around town getting gifts forever and then not get a gift too. It's a wyvern-toothed dagger that you weren't allowed as a kid. Have it.
That's where we're meeting your cousin? Why not the casino?
House Cantori has many talents. Making coffee is not one of them.
Finally. I thought you might leave me here all by my lonesome.
Please. You think I'd ever pass up Cafe Pietra's coffee?
You see, Rook, my cousin is all stomach and no heart.
Don't mind him. Ilario cannot appreciate anything but himself. They serve a specialty roast here, Andoral's breath. Bitter and sweet, like a kiss goodbye. You should try it.
I am gonna flirt relentlessly with this man.
You just described my dream cup of coffee. So, have we done enough Three Crows in a coffee shop chatting about nothing to bore the spies?
Just about. The most persistent one gave up when Lucanis started getting all romantic about the roasts.
It's a very good roast. So, you have something?
The crows I sent after Sarah have picked up her trail. They say she's gone to Virantium.
If she was here in Treviso to kill Katerina, she can't be in Virantium already.
Rook's right. Zara's giving you a false lead, cousin.
Do you have better information?
We're compromised. There's no other way Zara could even touch Katerina. You need your eyes here, in Antiva.
Zara would never be foolish enough to stay. Not with you out for blood.
Of course she would. If the crows protecting her are here.
Rook, reason with him.
Grimlock says it's cool that the crow version of Rook is aware of the stalling tactic against spies. My Rook had no idea.
She came after Katerina.
Right.
She will come for you too.
I do really like some of those background-specific dialogue tweaks. Just, it's not even a dialogue choice. It's just, yeah, no, of course, my Rook, who worked with the spy faction, would know. We're just chatting until the actor spies get bored.
Ilario always caves under pressure.
Zara's not going to get Ilario, and she's not getting away with anything she's done. I promise.
Don't promise. But thank you.
Bitter and sweet, you called that blend. Like a kiss goodbye. So, what would a first kiss be?
Honey and lavender cream. Sweet. Intriguing. And you? How would you describe it?
Every kiss is different.
Sometimes a unique pleasure should be just that.
That sounds like the voice of experience.
I've always thought that to live truly is to live fully. But even before I was captured, my life was not really my own. So much had been determined for me.
Here we go. Special trans dialogue. No dialogue option allowed for the cis. This one's just for the transes.
Life's too short to be defined by other people.
If I'd had that advice sooner.
Once I defined myself as the woman I wanted to be, I was free to pursue what really mattered to me.
What really matters to me? Perhaps it's closer than I thought. How's your coffee?
Dark, complex, and intriguing.
I like that, like,
Ready to
he
head back
doesn't
to the
skip a
Lighthouse?
beat on the flirting game when we come out as trans. He's like, well, gonna continue flirting with you. The thing that I'm interested in might just be here at this table, huh? Yeah, Grimlock, I think it's fair to say Cousin's being a bit sus. I don't think you're wrong to look at that cousin and go, "This is a bit sus." Yeah, I think we can safely put Lucanis on the on the trans ally side of the scales. I think we could trust him to like not be weird. Alright, if we were gonna go this way, it's takedown damage plus 15. Energy charge rate 20% up, that's nice. The enemies with at least 3 stats of shock, causes chain, which is great.
Treviso.
People feel at home here.
So yeah, now is when I would probably look at the map and go, do we... Oh. I'm doing this wrong. Have a look. Are there any obvious bits of the map we've currently been to that have exclamation marks on? No. Okay, we can fairly safely leave here and not worry about additional quests for the time being. You know what? Let's go do... Which one do we want to do? Do we want to do Harding's or Bellara's first? Well, we're going to have to go to Wildlethan Forest for either of them. Let's start with Bellara, I guess. Let's start with Bellara. And we've not been to that location yet, so what we're going to want to do is go to the Crossroads. It's not going to be a super late night for me tonight. I've stayed up till 2 AM every morning since this game came out, playing a bunch of it. I'm probably going to get a reasonable bedtime tonight. I'm going to be sensible. I'm not going to add another 2 AM finish onto the stack.
The dock's been fixed. The caretaker must be regaining control of the Crossroads.
Taking your little boat ride, sir. Oh, tomorrow is Nintendo's investor briefing.
That's
what time is that?
I can't place it.
For a moment, it smelled like Goktown after it rains.
Could be magic from the ancient elves.
Oh, 1 sec. It's 8 years ago. Why can I not find anything telling me? Investor briefing. 1995 November. 2023 oh, it's 2024 this year. It's not 2025. What? I don't know what year I'm in, apparently. November 5th, 2024. Yeah, time. When tomorrow? No. Internet, just tell me when the investor briefing tomorrow is. Is it at a time where I'm actually going to be able to follow it without the US election stuff just absolutely drowning that conversation out?
The Antam here?
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a lot. Yes, things have calmed down from the Dragon Age stuff way quicker than I thought they were going to. Initially, my thought had been the thing that might get me some peace and quiet from the online shouty dickheads was like, oh, the presidential election might be enough to distract them from the fact that
Crossroads Guardians, and now the Antam.
I touched Dragon Age while it was being made. Thankfully, haven't ended up needing that distraction. I had thought that was going to be my get out of jail card for the internet shouting. Okay, oh yes, it's this one up here. I wish everyone in the US the best of fucking luck tomorrow. That things work out reasonably. Ugh. Why am I so sleepy? I know why I'm so sleepy. I stayed up too late playing Dragon Age too many nights. I can answer my own questions.
If what happened at Demeter's Crossing spreads.
Have a look.
Buy some of my valuables. We got yeah, buy that to upgrade that weapon.
Till next time.
When did the troubles begin?
Let's go explore a nice little forest.
So, you're not sure you can trust me, but it was your idea to hire me.
I made the suggestion. Rook made the call. Why? Are you worried I have ulterior motives? That I planted the idea in Rook's head for my own ends?
That wasn't where this was going.
Really? Because I'd have questions. A Tevinter mage breaks a demon-possessed assassin out of prison. What's her angle?
Mierda. And people say I'm overly suspicious.
I mean, you are a mage and a mage killer hanging out together. A degree of suspicion between the two of you feels warranted.
I'll get in here.
Yeah, that's happening. One. Okay, maybe he's speaking Spanish. I don't know. People in chat were saying that he's a Latin American voice actor, so it's a fantasy world. I guess it's a fantasy world where Latin American accents and Spanish words mix in with Italian. It's a world where dragons exist. I don't think that's the height of anachronism. Yes, The fantasy Mediterranean, maybe.
Made it for that one.
There we got them. Pick some side quests up on the way.
Trapped. Can't get out. Oh, it hurts. It's dark. Please. They didn't know what to do. They didn't want to die. Stop the thoughts. Stop the fears. Quiet, please. Make it quiet.
This is how it starts. Emotion overwhelms the spirit, and it goes bad.
Could this spirit sense the agony of the Dalish who recently died in the forest?
Help them. Help me.
Okay.
We need Bellara.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that quest for now. We're on a mission at the moment, but I'll come back for you, miss. One of the benefits of one of the benefits of playing this through off stream, before playing it on stream and playing them in such close proximity, is I'm going to have a very good idea of what is a quest that I can play off stream, and chat's not really going to miss anything important, versus the ones where I'm like, oh, this is particularly sweet or particularly important narratively. I'm going to know which quests are safe to do off stream, which is a rarity. Yeah, we're going to do Bellara's companion quest, maybe Harding's, and then I think it's time for me to get some sleep.
We all know why we're here, right?
Make sure that the artifacts we calmed stay calmed. We know.
This should be easy. Yanarl, you and Strife take the first set. Irlin and Hamuel take the second. Rook and I will handle the rest.
You picked me. I'm so flattered.
Well, of course. I know you. I mean, I don't know you yet. Not that. Anyway.
Just lead the way and I'll follow.
All right. Now we're going to check the crystal alignment, fade connection, and the lyrium reserves.
Has alignment ever been a problem? Even once?
It's not worth the risk. Even if it's only off by a little bit, we know what happens.
Happened once. And we can't even be sure the crystal alignment was why. Look, I know what you're saying, but maybe if we
check it.
I can't help but look at the teeth and see the FSR upscaling.
I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry.
Forget it.
Hey, Skunk Fruit.
Are you okay, Bellara?
I'm fine.
It's my fault, really. I'm sorry, Bellara.
Let's go. We want to get back quickly.
Of course. See you soon.
I hate that I've become the kind of person where I can see visual artifacting in AI upscaled games, and I can identify which upscaler they're using by the nature of like what kind of where is it struggling to resolve detail. The kind of issues I'm like, oh, that's FSR2 right there. FSR2 really, you know, loves this stuff.
So what was that all about?
What was what all about?
That tension, it seemed pretty heavy.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Here we are, the artifact vault. Or one of them, at least.
Looks like it's seen better days.
Repairing reality doesn't leave a lot of time for repairing walls. At least until someone falls through a hole in the floor. Random example. Okay, see those 2 power crystals? The ones that aren't glowing? There should be a couple of replacements, charged ones in the room. If you grab them, I'll make sure the artifact stays calmed.
Okay, new power crystal is in.
I'm literally already on it,
The artifact
Bellara.
didn't collapse the room.
Was that a possibility?
Always is.
I'm glad that you're good at your job. This means there's an opportunity for me to do graphical tech reviews
And
now.
there we go.
So it's calmed now?
Should be. And it
honestly, a lot of this came out of me going on a hyperfixation rabbit hole. So, when the initial rumors of like a Switch Pro or eventually a Switch 2 were doing the rounds, there was a lot of talk of whatever the next Nintendo hardware would be, using an equivalent of DLSS upscaling as its way of getting to those higher resolutions. Originally, it sounded like it was going to be a proprietary one. Now, it's seeming from leaked documents like it might actually be one of the versions of DLSS itself. And then PS5 Pro got announced and was like, hey, we've got our own version called PSSR. And I went down a real research rabbit hole out of just curiosity of what I wanted to know, what kind of visual results might actually be achievable on a Switch successor if it's using a version of DLSS. And then I was like, well, what's the difference between that and the other versions that are out there? And I did a little research hole. I know how to recognize, like, I can recognize artifacting issues and go, oh, well, the problem is that's DLSS 2. They fixed that in 3.1. And I'm like,
stay that way for a while.
I've gained a lot of knowledge on a thing I don't really need.
Okay, let's
and
keep
all
going.
it's really done is make me see more problems in games. Because I've learning how to verbalize a problem you're seeing makes it way easier in my experience to instinctively see the problem. All I've done is I've made it so I can't look at the teeth on PlayStation without
So
going,
it's
FSR resolve
nice
issue.
at least. You know, ignoring that reality itself is paper thin here.
Hard to ignore that.
Right?
Surely these technologies would come from the graphics card maker. The console makers just assemble them into the final product. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. There is one good version of this technology. DLSS is the gold standard right now, and DLSS is Nvidia's version of this. And it requires specialized hardware that Nvidia puts into their new graphics cards that is like DLSS specific hardware, and it works great. FSR is interesting because FSR isn't specific to it doesn't need specific hardware installed to run. It doesn't need like a specific FSR chip on your graphics card. And it's also open source. It's AMD, I believe, make it, but they anyone can license FSR to use on any hardware, whereas DLSS is specific to Nvidia. And the problem is that Nintendo is the only console maker using Nvidia right now for their consoles, and Xbox and PlayStation can't really swap to Nvidia because they would risk losing backwards compatibility because they've stuck with AMD, they've stuck with for ages, which means that they can't really swap to the company that makes the good hardware-enabled DLSS. So their options are use FSR, which is it's fine. It gets the job done, but it has issues like the teeth resolve in this. Or make your own equivalent of DLSS that is like a hardware-based solution rather than a software one. You will probably get better results, which, from what I've seen of the PS5 Pro in recent weeks from Digital Foundry's coverage, does seem to be better than FSR's results, because they basically went, can you make us some hardware that's kind of like DLSS, where it's dedicated hardware that does the thing for our consoles, but it's not. The reason that you see a lot of games like this use FSR is because FSR is not reliant on specific hardware, so you can just any game in theory could have FSR put into it, but only Nvidia specific hardware, if your console's made by Nvidia, like the Switch, then maybe you can have DLSS in it. Does that answer that question? That's me having a little info as best I understand it. Yeah, Nvidia's the only graphics card maker that's actually making hardware technology for for Nintendo to put in their consoles, potentially. Anyone else is either having to make the console makers are having to make their own tech, or use a software-only solution.
So what did this artifact do? Before it was calmed, I mean.
It would bring flaming rocks down all around it. every 30 minutes. And for some reason, you'd hear chanting while it did it. Not sure what that was about. Okay, reserves replaced, which means there. Everything's looking good. Thank you, by the way, for helping out. You have better things to do, I know.
I'm happy to help. Besides, you're fun to spend time with.
Really? Oh, I mean, that's so nice. I like spending time with you too. Okay, one more to go.
I'm definitely not just flirting with everyone, Bellara. It's specific for you, I promise. Wink.
Not too far now. Thank you for giving me this chance to help people.
You were already kind of doing that, as a veil jumper.
Sort of, but it was never as big, you know? As grand. Helping you. Well, we're
Can
helping
you romance
lots of
multiple people? I don't for sure know the answer to that. I know you can be flirting with a lot of people simultaneously. I know that one of the dating options requires you to commit fairly early on to being exclusive with them. I don't know whether other characters are the same, because I've only been romancing one character so far.
I like that.
Hey, Tara. I'm sorry there was a small amount of having coffee with a crow that you needed to safety dodge.
So how do you calm an artifact anyway?
You have to cut it off from its power source, but carefully.
Hey, Rook.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
XPB says, flirting in this game just seems to mean giving a compliment. It starts at giving compliments. It's compliments that are like... Well, we had one with Harding a minute ago that was like, oh, you're adorable. Because Harding was clearly not listening to a word we were saying, so we just started calling her adorable.
Found the other crystal?
It ramps up, but it doesn't go 0 to 100. It's not like you, as their boss, are instantly, like, throwing the schmooze down. It's like, no, we gently raise the flirt game over time to see whether the comfort stays there. It's a slow burn. It's the long game. There is no rushing to romance here. It is the gentle build.
There. Done.
Hey, you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Or will be. It takes a lot out of you, all those little magic bits. Not hard, just exhausting. But it needs to be done, and done right.
Yeah, keeping reality from falling apart is important. But other veil jumpers can do this. Why not let them?
Because maybe then I can make up for it.
Make up for what?
For not being good enough when it counted. I'm sorry, I can't. Not right now.
Do I sense a tragic backstory? Come on. Give me your nuggets of delicious backstory. Let me in. Let me know what we're in for. Oh, it's always
Bellara,
trauma. It's always trauma.
My brother.
What?
Oh,
Back there.
platonically complimenting
You
another
asked me
woman's
why I
boobs
did
is
this.
very, very
Why
much
I put
doable.
myself out here. For him. For my brother. Wherever he is.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
It's okay. Well, no, it's not okay. But not because of you. Syrian. That was his name. We were the same, you know? In a lot of ways. We wanted to learn everything. About Elvenon, the magic, the people, all of it. We heard about the Notisterthalin. Figured it had the answers. Or some of them. Then Arlathan started going wrong. I joined the Veil Jumpers to help people. And he kept looking, kept putting himself in danger. It should have been safe. I know, I checked that artifact 3 times. I guess it should have been 4. Artifact started pulsing. He was too close. I couldn't find my way in. They called him a hero. Wanted to make a statue. They thought it would make it all okay.
You loved him. They loved the idea of him.
They never knew him. Not really. Didn't know why he did what he did. Syrian, he felt responsible. For our people. For me. My little brother. He thought he needed to take care of me. He called me Vora Shivan. Hummingbird in Elven. Said it was because I could never sit still. But he loved me for it. Said it kept him thinking. Trying to keep up. And he helped me too. He kept me focused, anchored. And now he's gone. Because I wasn't good enough.
It's not
That
your
will
fault.
give you a bit of a complex
You
about
have to know that.
being worried you're not good enough. Paranoid about
Why
making
does
mistakes.
it feel like it was?
You lost someone important. Guilt's part of that. But if you don't learn to get past it, you'll drown.
I wish it were that easy. I've tried. Told myself I couldn't have done anything, and my head believes it. But my heart doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it at the time, but
So
I
I
will
try to make up
bring
for
that up
it.
in a sec, Tara.
Honor him.
I caught it the second time round.
Learn about our people. Find the truth. Maybe when I do, I'll feel it.
Feel what?
That he forgives me. And that I deserve it.
Yeah.
We should head back.
As Tara points out, in the scene in the Lighthouse just before we
Rook.
went on this quest, yeah, she talked about a theory and said we, and then corrected
for being
herself
here.
quickly to I. He's used to being part of a team. It still comes as instinct that of course he's there. Yeah, I didn't catch it the first time around, but I definitely caught it the second time around on stream, and I was like, I'll wait to talk about it, but... yeah... Nicely teased, nicely signposted. Yeah, have that Bellara, sure. I think what we can probably do quickly... oh, we are right near Harding's. I don't think we're going to do Harding's
Oh, what a horrible way to go.
quest quite
It
this
would
second.
make a good trap. A target wouldn't see it coming.
Let's not stick around and become dessert.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait here.
Hey, yeah.
And we're gonna call it a night for tonight. But we will start Wednesday's stream with Harding's personal quest and see where we go from there. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed another Dragon Age the Veilguard stream. I will be back with some more of the game on Wednesday. Have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna go... I was gonna say go to bed. I'm gonna finish off some work on other work project and then go to bed. But I'm gonna get the ball rolling on tasks that mean I get to go to bed. Good night, everyone. Rest well. Chat to you all soon. Bye.